Have you ever found yourself searching for answers? Not in books or temples, but in the raw, unfiltered experiences of everyday life? What if the deepest spiritual truths aren't confined to ancient scriptures, but are revealed through the very challenges we face, the agony of loss, the sting of anger, or the dilemma of what to believe? The Buddha, the awakened one, was not just a profound philosopher, he was a master of human connection. A compassionate guide who taught complex wisdom through the most relatable of stories. Today, we journey into the heart of the Buddha's early ministry, witnessing his revolutionary approach to teaching. He didn't just preach, he engaged, he questioned, and he skillfully guided people to discover profound truths for themselves, often using their own struggles as the very foundation of their awakening. Prepare to be captivated by three timeless parables that reveal the essence of Buddhist wisdom: the universality of suffering, the liberating power of non-reaction, and the crucial importance of personal experience over blind faith. These are not just ancient tales, they are living lessons for anyone seeking peace, understanding, and genuine transformation in their own lives. Chapter 1. The First Discourses, Spreading the Dhamma's Light. After his profound enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, and having delivered his pivotal first sermon, Turning the Wheel of Dhamma, to the 5 ascetics at the Deer Park in Sarnath, the Buddha embarked on his lifelong mission to share the liberating truths he had discovered. He traveled extensively from one town to another, accompanied by his growing Sangha, the monastic community, bringing the light of the Dhamma to countless beings. The Buddha taught many people in many different ways, demonstrating an unparalleled adaptability and profound understanding of the human condition. He engaged with scholars and kings, merchants and beggars, children and elders, always tailoring his message to their understanding. He understood that true teaching wasn't about abstract philosophy, but about direct relevance to people's lives. He taught children by telling captivating stories, weaving profound spiritual lessons into narratives that resonated with their innocent hearts. People from all walks of life were naturally attracted to him, drawn by his radiant presence, his unwavering calm, and the palpable wisdom he exuded. They came to him with their problems, their doubts, their sorrows, and their questions, seeking his invaluable advice. And the Buddha, with boundless compassion, karuna, listened patiently and offered them practical solutions and profound insights, illuminating their paths toward inner peace and liberation. This period marked the initial widespread dissemination of the Dhamma, the universal law of truth that the Buddha had discovered. The Sangha began to grow, comprising individuals from diverse backgrounds who were ready to embrace the middle path and seek an end to suffering. The Buddha's approach was revolutionary. He didn't demand blind faith, but invited genuine inquiry and personal experience. His wisdom was a living wellspring, accessible to all who genuinely thirsted for truth. Buddhist insight. This initial phase of the Buddha's ministry highlights the practical and compassionate nature of his teaching. His willingness to adapt his methods, telling stories to children, engaging with diverse individuals, demonstrates upaya, skillful means. The universal attraction to the Buddha signifies the inherent human yearning for liberation from dukkha, suffering, and the compelling power of an enlightened presence. This sets the stage for the profound lessons he would impart through direct, personal encounters, transforming abstract concepts into lived realities for his followers. Chapter 2. The Parable of the Mustard Seed, Finding Acceptance in Universal Loss. One day, amidst his travels, a woman named Kisa Gautami, her face etched with unimaginable grief and despair, approached the Buddha. Her heart was shattered by the agony of an unbearable loss. "Master," she pleaded, her voice trembling with raw emotion, "I have lost my only child this morning. I implore you, bring my son back to life. I hear that you are a great holy man. Please help me out of my suffering." Her desperate plea echoed the universal human cry against the pain of mortality. The Buddha, with boundless compassion, karuna, looked at her with understanding. He saw her profound suffering, but also recognized that she needed to learn a deeper truth than a mere resurrection could offer. "Kisa," he replied gently, "I will help you, but you must first bring me something. Go into the village and bring me some mustard seeds. However, the mustard seeds must come from a house where no one has ever died." Kisa, her heart momentarily leaping with desperate hope, was overjoyed. "Oh, I'm really overjoyed. I will bring the seeds." she exclaimed, her voice filled with newfound determination. She went throughout the village, her steps quickened by this fragile hope, knocking on every single door. At each house, she asked, "Sister, has anyone died in your house? Can I have some mustard seeds from a home untouched by death?" And at every single house, without exception, she received the same sorrowful, universal answer. "Yes, my brother died 2 years ago." Or, "My mother passed away last year." Or, "My child died as an infant." Kisa received such heart-wrenching answers from every single house in the village. "What will I do now? I'm really disappointed," she thought, as the profound futility of her task, and the overwhelming universality of loss, slowly, inexorably dawned on her. Kisa Gautami returned to the Buddha, her hands empty of mustard seeds, but her mind now filled with a new, profound understanding etched onto her face. She knelt before him, her head bowed, her voice calm with acceptance, tears still in her eyes but no longer tears of desperate, resisting grief. "Buddha," she said, "today I have discovered that I am not the only one who has lost a loved one. I see how foolish I was to think I could have my son back. I have accepted his death, and this afternoon I buried him." The Buddha gently affirmed her realization, his smile radiant with wisdom. "Kisa," he said, "you have learned that death must come to everyone sooner or later. But if you learn the truth of impermanence, you can live and die in happiness. Come, I shall teach you." The Buddha taught her the Dhamma, guiding her through the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path, and soon she found more peace and happiness than she had ever known before. A profound serenity born not from avoiding pain, but from accepting its universal truth. Buddhist insight. This poignant parable masterfully teaches anicca, impermanence, and the universality of dukkha, suffering. Kisa's initial grief is intensified by her tanha, clinging to the idea of permanence and her son's life. The Buddha's seemingly impossible condition of the mustard seeds is a upaya, skillful means, designed to lead her to an experiential understanding that loss is not a personal curse but a shared human experience. By accepting impermanence, we reduce suffering, cultivate upekkha, equanimity, and find peace through profound acceptance. This story illustrates the Buddha's compassionate approach to guiding individuals from personal suffering to universal truth. Chapter 3. The Unaccepted Gift, Taming Anger with Wisdom and Non-Reactivity. The Buddha's wisdom was not only for those seeking solace in grief but also for those consumed by destructive emotions. One day, while the Buddha was walking peacefully through a village, an angry and rude man approached him, his face contorted with rage, his voice seething with resentment. "Oh, you are the one who is teaching everyone?" the man spat. "Yes, brother, you have no right to teach others. You are a fake yourself." The Buddha listened calmly, his serene demeanor completely undisturbed by the man's harsh remarks and disrespectful tone. His composure was unshakable, a perfect mirror of inner peace. "Tell me," the Buddha asked gently, his voice soft yet resonating with an undeniable power. "If you buy a gift for someone and that person does not take it, to whom does the gift belong?" The man, momentarily taken aback by the seemingly unrelated question, thought for a moment. "It would belong to me because I bought the gift. If they don't take it, it remains mine." "That is correct," the Buddha affirmed, nodding, "and it is exactly the same with your anger. If you become angry with me and I do not get insulted, if I do not accept your anger, then the anger falls back on you. You are then the only one who becomes unhappy, consumed by your own rage, not me. Understand this truth. When you hate others, you yourself become unhappy. But when you love others, when you act with compassion, everyone is happy." The man was stunned into profound silence. His face, initially contorted with uncontrollable rage, slowly softened as the profound realization dawned upon him. His anger had been a burden he carried, and the Buddha had simply refused to accept it. "You are right," he stammered, humbled. "Please teach me the path of love. I want to become your follower." "Of course," the Buddha smiled warmly, his eyes twinkling with boundless compassion. "I shall teach anyone who truly wants to learn. Come with me." Lesson. This story is a masterclass in dealing with anger, dosa, and negativity. The Buddha's unaccepted gift metaphor is incredibly powerful and practical. It teaches us that we possess the ultimate power to choose our response to external negativity. By consciously choosing not to react with anger, to not take insults personally, we effectively prevent the second arrow of suffering, a concept we've explored previously on this channel, from piercing us. This practice cultivates metta, loving kindness, and upekkha, equanimity, transforming potential conflict into an opportunity for profound inner peace and self-mastery. It highlights that emotions, when unchecked, become our own tormentors. Chapter 4. Testing the Teachings, the Importance of Personal Experience and Wise Inquiry. Soon, the Buddha's teachings spread widely across India, and he had many devoted followers who revered him deeply. One day, one of his earnest followers, perhaps carried away by his fervent devotion, expressed his admiration. "O Blessed One, you are certainly the greatest of all teachers who ever lived." The Buddha, with his characteristic humility and profound wisdom, gently corrected him, not to diminish his praise, but to deepen his understanding. "Tell me," the Buddha asked, his voice calm, "have you met all the great teachers who have come into the world?" "No, of course not," the follower replied, a little surprised by the question. "And do you know all the teachers who are alive now or will be born in the future?" the Buddha continued, subtly guiding him. "No, I do not," the follower admitted, a dawning realization of his limited perspective beginning to form. "Then it is wrong to say that I am the greatest of all teachers," the Buddha gently stated, clarifying a crucial point of right view, samadhi. "If you find my teachings helpful, the best thing to do is to practice them. Do not waste your energy praising me now. Your energy is better spent in practice." He then offered another powerful analogy. "Now tell me, if you went to buy some precious gold, will you pay for it without testing it first?" "No, of course not. It might be fake, and then I will be wasting my money," the follower exclaimed, understanding the practical wisdom. "It is exactly the same way with my teachings," the Buddha explained, connecting the mundane to the profound. "You should test the teaching yourself to see if they are true or not. If you find that they are true and helpful through your own experience, then practice them. Also, do not criticize the teachings of others. There are many other great teachers in the world, and they all have their own way of helping people. So do not insult any of them. Think for yourselves. Be kind to others and respect everyone, for each may hold a piece of truth for someone." Buddhist insight. This teaching is a cornerstone of Buddhist epistemology, emphasizing ihai passako, come and see, or come and experience. The Buddha explicitly encourages critical inquiry and personal experience over blind faith or intellectual assent. This promotes a practical, experiential approach to spirituality and actively discourages dogmatism, sectarianism, and intellectual arrogance. It highlights the importance of right view, samadhi, based on direct understanding, not hearsay. The teaching also extends to right speech, samavaka, and metta, loving kindness, by advising against criticizing other teachings, fostering respect for diverse paths and recognizing that different teachings may suit different individuals. It stresses that true wisdom, prajna, arises from personal realization, not from mere intellectual acceptance or external validation. Conclusion. Living the Dhamma, your personal path to awakening. The Buddha's compassionate and practical approach to teaching, vividly illustrated through these timeless parables, offers us profound insights into the nature of suffering and the clear path to liberation. He didn't just preach abstract concepts, he provided experiential lessons that resonated deeply with the human condition, empowering individuals to discover truth for themselves. Key learnings for your personal Buddha story. Dukkha and impermanence, anicca, suffering is inherent in our conditioned existence, and all things are impermanent. Recognizing this reality, as Kisa Gautami did, is the first step to liberation. Resistance to impermanence only amplifies suffering. Application. Embrace change. Accept that all things, pleasures, pains, people, are temporary. This frees you from rigid clinging and reduces the sting of loss. Cultivating a more peaceful heart. The power of non-attachment, upekkha, and non-reactivity. True freedom comes from not clinging to desires, outcomes, or even the validation of others. The Buddha's response to the angry man teaches us to choose our reactions. Application. Learn to hold things lightly. Enjoy life's gifts without fear of losing them. When faced with negativity, don't pick up the second arrow of anger or resentment. Choose peace and compassion. The centrality of inner transformation and personal experience. The external world provides challenges. But the true source of peace, or suffering, lies within your own mind and how you choose to perceive and react. The Buddha encouraged testing his teachings through your own life. Application. You are the ultimate architect of your inner world. Cultivate mindfulness and conscious focus on wholesome states. Engage in practices, like meditation, that lead to direct experience. Not just intellectual understanding. Trust your own process of discovery. Compassion, karuna, and loving kindness, metta, is foundations. These are potent forces for transformation, both within yourself and in your interactions with others. Application. Extend profound kindness to yourself and all others. Choose understanding over judgment. Remember, true strength lies in your capacity for love, not aggression. Wisdom through critical inquiry and open-mindedness. The Buddha encouraged testing his teachings and respecting other paths. Fostering intellectual honesty and a non-dogmatic approach to truth. Application. Remain curious. Question assumptions, even your own. Be open to learning from diverse sources. Recognize that truth can manifest in many forms, and your personal experience is the ultimate validator. The Buddha's life story is an unending source of inspiration, showing us that the path to liberation is not without its trials, but that through unwavering effort, profound compassion, and radical non-attachment, victory over suffering is always possible. His teachings are not just doctrines, they are invitations to a life of awakening. Your life, too, is part of this grand Buddha story. How will you choose to write it? Will you allow yourself to be bound by old habits and external expectations? Or will you, like those who met the Buddha, bravely test the Dhamma for yourself, finding your own path to peace and liberation? Right here, right now? Thank you for watching, and may you always carry the profound peace and illuminating wisdom of these stories within your heart. Join our growing community by liking this video and subscribing to Buddha's Story, where ancient wisdom beautifully meets modern mindfulness. Which of the Buddha's teachings from today's episode will you actively test and apply in your own life this week? Share your reflections and experiences in the comments below. Until our next encounter, may your path be filled with profound peace, deep understanding, and the radiant light of your own awakening.